Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video we're diving into the speed and boosted teams, my teams, for the treasure map for 5+ Edward Newgate, Anger of Family being taken away. And in today's video we're going to be breaking down each mini-boss, as well as the teams that I'm going to be using to try and speed through it as fast as possible. Now, obviously these teams are subject to change just like always, and if you guys want to check out some buildable teams, I've already put out a video. I'll leave a link in the description. Plus I'll be doing some more videos with like, different variations of having the boosters, not having the boosters, having the news batch, not having the news batch, all that fun stuff too. But hopefully these teams help you guys out, and if they do, make sure to go down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff, because what we will be farming for is the skulls for this particular unit right here, and obviously limit break materials. So let's take a look at my teams. They look a little bit like this. We did obviously pull the Onsen batch, which I was pretty lucky to get within 8 multis. So we are using all of them on the Zoro and the Sanji fight. We do obviously have all the New Year's batch as well, so that's taking that into consideration. As for the mini-bosses, let's start it off with speed. Everyone gets the good stuff, and on stage 3, there is an attack down of 99% if you're below a chain of 2.75 for 3 turns. There's also stun on your second and third row, burn 1 turn of a barrier, being 2 perfects, and then full immunity. So they really want you to use Whitebeard on this particular fight. However, whenever it comes to any fight whatsoever, you bet your ass I'm going to be using Nami Karina. Nami Karina are going to double my drops. I really need limit break materials. You know I'm always down so bad when it comes to that. So using Nami Karina is definitely the way for me. Switching one captain being Nami, one captain being Karina. You can have the type advantage that way. We can use a wave clearing of Roger and Odin on stage 1, and then I can use Izo Kiko on stage 2, so that way I get the chain lock moving into the final stage. And then to get around the stun, I'm using this free-to-play Yamato with any of the samurai support to work, to be honest. As long as they cut your HP by 20% or do any damage at all, you are going to be able to remove that stun ability, which works very, very nicely. You can use the base stats, you can use the chain lock, like whichever one works. The chain lock one will work nicely if you don't have Izo Kiku, and then go from there. With Color Affinity with Law Robin, you have an attack boost with Nami. She also removes the barrier, and it works out pretty hunky-dory. Moving on to the fight versus carrots now. Int, Quick, and Strength characters get all the good stuff. There's 5 turns of Special Bind, 5 turns of Despair after Sockets, 5 turns of Paralysis, full board block orbs, and delay immunity. So the character they recommend is utilizing 6+ Shanks. You bet your ass I was always going to be using Shanks when I saw this. I was thinking about doing stuff with Uta, the Int Uta and whatnot, but look, Shanks removes Paralysis. He also removes the block orbs. He gives you an attack boost. He gives you a chain boost. He pretty much does everything that you need in terms of damage-wise. And then with this PKA Luffy, he gives you an orb buff as well as removing Special Bind and Despair. So that way with the 2 of these units, you can literally just remove everything. It just works really, really nicely. This is going to be my double wave clearer. These 2 units here are literally just points. No other reason about it. You can use the Whitebeard on this team, the 1.4, this one here. If you guys want even more points, you can just take off Flampe once you get him. Chuck him on the team and you get an extra 1.4 times booster. Moving on to Neko, Mamushi, Cerebral Slashers, and Strikers get all the good stuff. There's an 80% HP card on entry, 6 turns of Paralysis, normal attacks only, 3 turns of Despair after Sockets, which is weird, 3 turns of Attack down, all color orbs are unfavorable. Full bottle block orbs and immunity except for defense down. On death, you're going to take 100,000, which is a lot of damage after taking an 80% HP cut. But if you use either Stampede Luffy 6+, or the free-to-play 5+ Luffy, you can get around both the Despair, and you can get around the Paralysis, which works very, very nicely. But Stampede Luffy has a special that removes attack down as well. So utilizing him is going to just completely remove your attack down, which is always fun. But don't stress, you can use supports like Momo, you can use stuff like Pedro, K-Dad, that's all going to work nicely too. We're going to use wave clearing, and from Brook we have Hiyori to give us Wano orbs. And then on the final stage, this kid is recommended. He is the boosted character they want you to use because he's going to turn all orbs into Super Bomb, but he also gives color affinity, and he gives you a damage receive buff, so that way when you do over 3,000 damage, you are going to be able to tank it very, very nicely. So with that, you can survive that shot. You can use Law with the Zoro support for an attack and an orb boost, and the team should work pretty hunky-dory, no issues whatsoever. On to Robin and Jinbe now. This one is an absolute doozy of a mini-boss, and by far the hardest mini-boss / boss of the entire treasure map, to be honest. Quick, Strength, and Dex got all the good stuff. On the final stage, there's 5 turns of Fear, 99 turns of normal attacks only, 5 turns of Special Bind, 7 turns of Threshold, 7 turns of increased defense, 1 turn of Special Rewind, and 99 turns of full immunity. And then if you use a slot boost, you get 3 turns of slot blind, so very, very annoying stuff. But as you can see, they really want you to use Zoro Sanji But they also recommend Kinemon and Kinemon and Toki. However, with the special bind and the special reverse, it's a bit hard to use them both on the same team. So I just went, stuff it. I'm going to use Tesoro. Tesoro, with his level limit break and his 6+, has the ability to remove 5 turns of special cooldown, as well as 5 turns of special rewind. Silence and special rewind as a captain. As long as you have one of every class, you can actually get this ability. So I just built a team that has one of every class. Utilizing Zoro and Sanji as our friend captain, we can get around the fear. They're going to move the defense up in the threshold. I'm using my own on the team as well. So that way I have a free spirit fighter and slasher and all that fun stuff. Starting both as Sanji, so I get the fighter class. I then have cerebral powerhouse with Katakuri Oven. I have slasher with Kinemon and shooter with Kuzen. And then we can wrap it up with the striker driven class of Tesoro. With that, we have all 8 classes on the team, which works very, very nicely. And that way we get those extra abilities. Utilizing the swap of Zoro Sanji on the final stage, we can then get the defense up, we can get the threshold removal, we can get the chain boost, we can get all that fun stuff. Tesoro is going to be a chain locker, so we can use him to carry over from stage 2 to 3. We don't have to worry about getting the big chain shenanigans that Zoro Sanji are trying to do. And that way we can just basically kill there. Once it does get a little bit harder, we're going to have to use the super swap, and with that, we can then just change the position of where Kuzen's wave clearing and where Tesoro's wave clearing. Both of them have very low cooldowns, and we do get cooldowns with both our captains, so that's going to work out pretty hunky-dory. On the final fight against Zoro, we're basically just using the full batch, free spirits, fighters, and slashers to get the good stuff. There's blind, normal attacks only, special bind, and poison orbs. Hiyori basically takes care of all of this, besides the silence, which Luffy takes care of. You're obviously running double Luffy, so that way you don't have to worry about the threshold, the special bind. To get around the barrier here, we are using Whitebeard with the Whitey base support. He's going to remove 2 turns of the barrier. You can easily bring him over here and then bring Roger Odin over here for wave clearing shenaniganry, and then just bring like Zoro on this team. Something I might look at if Roger and Odin does kill on this stage, but utilizing Whitebeard here actually works really, really nicely. On the final stage, you are going to take 80% HP cut. This will auto-trigger Luffy to get around the burn, the paralysis. Yamato gets around the damage reduction, and then on the revive, you can just use the super class and the other Luffy special once again. So, using the super type of Luffy, as well as the special, gets around all the special bind that you need to worry about and all the paralysis as well. Onto the Sanji fights. Free spirits, fighters, and slashers get all the good stuff once again. There's poison on stage 2, 99 turns of normal attacks only. Receive damage from consuming recovery orbs, as well as healing turned to damage, so be mindful of that. There's also pain for 10,000, 3 turns of defense up and 3 turns of threshold, so Zoro Sanji come into play there. On the final stage against Sanji, there's 6 turns of paralysis, 6 turns of special bind, 1 turn of special reverse, recovery orbs, attack down if you're any class that's not a free spirit, slasher, or fighter, and then 3 turns of a 1 rainbow orb barrier. So this is where they really want you to use Zoro Sanji. If you have the super swap and then you turn everyone into free spirit slashers anyway, you're going to be fine on this particular stage. Hiyori's taking care of the poison, Nami's taking care of the special reverse, and then Roger and Odin are just literally here just to look pretty. Like, they don't really do too much. I think they're an orb booster, actually. They're probably my orb booster for this team. But other than that, that's basically how this is going to rock. This is how it's going to roll. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts and opinions. Post them in the comment section. If you have any ideas to make the teams faster, let me know down below as well. But while you're down there, belt the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.